Hi everybody, Florian Puhani here with 1.5 kilograms of organic waxy potatoes. I'm afraid it would be a bit bold to call this a creative nutrition hack, because what I had originally planned in that department didn't work out, unfortunately. I will show you if you stay with me till the end of this video. So this is more like just a regular cooking show, but at least it's a really wholesome bodybuilding dish we are making. Rather ironically, I got this awesome recipe from my second oldest son Jeremy. Yes, the med student who is also good with a camera, as you might have seen a couple of times already. Why is that ironic? Because as a teenager he grew tired of my nutrient-dense but rather bland bodybuilding cuisine, so he taught himself to cook. And still this recipe is as bodybuilding compatible as it gets. You may notice that my fingers look pretty red here. That's because the water is not only hot but also rather alkaline from the baking soda, which makes it somewhat more aggressive toward your skin. So for washing the potatoes it's not a bad idea to wear gloves, especially if your skin is somewhat more delicate than mine. 1.5 kilograms of organic waxy potatoes is exactly the package size I get from the discounter supermarket next door. And that comes in pretty handy because it's exactly the right amount to fill up one baking tray if you cut the potatoes the way I've described in the caption. Olive oil is mostly monounsaturated fat that acts anti-inflammatory. Also, it appears to have some protective effect against cardiovascular disease and cancer. I can tell you these health claims have never been changed over the last couple of decades. Rather, they have been corroborated again and again, so I guess they are pretty legit. Paint the potatoes with enough olive oil to make their surfaces really shiny. Afterward, spread salt and spices on them. Don't reverse that order, or painting the potatoes will make you brush off all the condiments again. Yeah, it seems trivial, but still I learned it the hard way. These are my ideal oven settings, but I'm afraid you may have to adjust them to your specific model of oven. It's not that hard to figure them out by experimenting though. Just keep an eye on the potatoes so you don't accidentally burn them. Yeah, about the size differences of the potatoes. If you have a choice, be provident enough to choose the pack that on average contains the most evenly sized potatoes to make sure they get equally done on the inside without having to cut them several times. Now this is what was supposed to be a creative nutrition hack. I wanted to show you that the hot potatoes are more brittle compared to the cooled down ones, which are more solid, because that would have been an indicator for a lower glycemic index due to the formation of resistant starch in the course of the cooling down process, as Thomas DeLauer has explained it several times on his YouTube channel. But to be honest, from what you can see, the difference turned out to be minor. I guess it's because I chose waxy potatoes instead of floury ones, so the glycemic index was pretty low in the first place. And my digestive system tells me it's way lower than white rice, for example. Avoiding unnecessary blood sugar spikes is one of the very few concessions I make to my somewhat higher age. Because unfortunately pre-diabetic syndrome and type 2 diabetes do in fact run in my family. Now I would say this is one of my less weird videos, so please share it with everyone, not just your bodybuilding friends. Also, I wouldn't mind a thumbs up and a subscription with turned on notifications if you haven't done that already. And if you want to support my channel even more, click the link below and buy a pack of organic protein powder with my code CREATIVE. I can promise your muscles won't regret that. My name is Florian, and I will make an effort so that you don't get bored with your diet.